Folks, Chumash and Rashi, we are Parshas Ki Teitzeh. We are the third reading. Let's get right into it. Anybody let people in, please. Okay. Oopsie daisy. Here we go. We are chapter 22, verse number 8. When you will build a new home, and you'll make a mica guardrail, for your roof. And you will not place, or you will not have, cause damim blood in your household. That the faller will fall from it, right? And because you're having a guardrail there, so then no one will fall from it and hurt themselves. Okay. All right. When you build a new home. So yesterday, the conclusion of yesterday's class was the sending away of the mother bird when she's over her chicks or eggs, right? So if you fulfill that mitzvah of sending away the mother from the nest, so then in the end, you're going to build a new home. You did one mitzvah, God's going to give you an opportunity to do another mitzvah. And then you'll be able to fulfill the mitzvah of making the fence a guardrail on the roof of your home. Why is that? Why will one lead to another? Because one mitzvah causes another mitzvah to come about. And then later after this mitzvah, it's going to speak about a vineyard in a field. You'll own a vineyard in a field. And tonight's clothes. Yeah, he's showing the progression of what the parsha will show. Okay, you get all of these things. That's why these Torah verses are juxtaposed to each other to indicate this idea. Okay. Next Rashi, we're good. Micah. What is a Micah? The new word. We haven't had this word before.
I have a question. Is that only the last verse? Is it only when you're building a new house, or is it on every house?
It's on every house. Very good question. Yeah, good question. It's on every house. So new, what's new? I guess it's new for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or the verse is speaking, in the regular terms. Back then, people built their own home. Okay, Micah, a fence. Gader Saviv Lagag. This is a fence around the roof. Uncle is Tirgim, and Uncle is translates Tiyaka, bag. He's going Tig Shemeshamer Masha like a bag, like a handbag that protects that which is inside of it. So you got to protect that which is interesting. So the interesting terminology over here, ki'ipol, that he will fall the faller, right? If he who falls shall fall from it. Roy lipa. This one who falls is fit to fall, meaning he deserves to fall. Afal Pike, nonetheless, what's the proof he deserves to fall? He fell. Right? But nonetheless, let his death not come about through you. For the heavenly court make merit come about through one who is worthy. And that person who that is a detrimental thing that happens through one who is guilty. In other words, good comes to those that do good, that are good, and bad comes to those who are bad. Meaning, actually, here it's not bad, good in the merit. Those who are meritorious in their life, God brings them meritorious things. Those who are not, the opposite. So, interesting. We need to. There have a sikh on that. We need a deeper understanding. Okay, number 9. Lo yisizra karmacha kalaim. Do not sow your vineyard. Kiloyim means mixed seeds. Pentikadish amaleya, lest you increase hazera tizra, the seed that you will plant, that you will seed, utvuas hakerem, and the vineyard and the yield of the vineyard, tvuas is the produce of the vineyard become increased. So the word tikdash over here, well, yeah, that's what he's going to pick up, because usually it means from the word kodesh, sanctified, right? So let's see Rashi. Kilayim. What is kilayim? This is also seemingly, I think it's a new word that we haven't had. It means a mixture. Chita, wheat, soira, barley. Chartzon, grape seeds. B'mapay lisyad, in the same throw of the hand. So, right, if you're putting like wheat, barley, and grape seeds in the same throw of the hand, not allowed to do that. That's mixing seeds. Pantikat tikdash, lest you set apart, should be understood. Katargumai onkelis tistaib, be impure, right? Impure, set apart, right? Holy is beyond the norm, and impure is below the norm. So that's to become impure. Hold of anything that is off limits for a person, ben l'sheva, whether it's praiseworthy, kigoyin hektish, like that which is holy, ben l'genai, that which is a discredit, which is not good, kigoyin isra, like a prohibition. Neifel but lashon kiddush, the word kiddush applies, because kiddush means beyond the pale, or below the pale, or beyond the pale. We're number 9.
In Rashi.
Yeah. Kamoi al tigash bi ki kedash ticha. Do not approach me, for I have put you off limits. Right. So it means
Put 2 different seeds together. We learned that.
No. Shimalei, we need to be present in what we're learning, and that's not the point right now. We're talking about the word tikdash, kiddush. You know when you make kiddush Friday night, right? That's called holy, right? Well, what's it mean over here when you're putting seeds together, right? Are we calling it holy? No, because the word holy means there's a normative line. Holy means beyond that, but the word means beyond, so it could be beyond above or beyond below, and therefore it's impure, right? Like a harlot, you also call a kadesha, right? She's called a kadesha. It's the same word kiddush, because it means beyond, but beyond doesn't have to be beyond above. Beyond can be beyond below, right? Exactly. So here it's for not good, right? Impure. So if you're taking the mixture of seeds, that's impure. So he's just explaining what that word means, right? In the context over here. Hamaleya, the growth, Zem Milui, this is filling out the Teisefis, an increase, Shazera Maisif, that the seed produces, meaning the plant grows from the seed. Right, that's it. Just explaining what the word means. Okay. Got that? That's mixture of seeds that you're not allowed to do. Now it's another kind of mixture. You shall not, tachresh means plow. Shor, ox, v'chamor, and a donkey together. Don't put them together, right? Now, we're not going with our own ideas on this. We're learning Rashi now, right?
Where did we learn this before recently?
Huh?
Relatively recently, we learned this. We learned the linen and wool. No, we learned the seeds.
No, that's gonna be next.
We learned the seeds and the cross.
Oh, we learned in Rambam.
Oh, okay, thank you.
We learned the Rambam. Yeah. Easy to get confused. Easy to get confused with things because we're learning so much,
Exactly.
right? Where'd you learn this?
At least I'm retaining something.
Yes. Okay, number 10 in Rashi. Do not plow an ox and a donkey. The same is true. Any two species in the world. And this is true. Leading two species together, zugim, tied together as a pair, and transporting any burden. And other so Rashi is saying it doesn't mean specifically plowing. But anytime you put a horse or a donkey or any two different species together, that's a prohibition you're not allowed to do, even if it's just to carry something, right? Not to plow. Now, the verse doesn't mean specifically the two species, right? It means any species.
Is there any reason, I mean, is there any reason for that besides the fact that the burden will be more by one than the other?
Well, first of all, you said that. Rashi didn't say that.
I did,
You said that. Just be careful. You
no, I said that. I'm
Right,
just
yeah, yeah.
asking if there's
No.
another reason. for
Yes,
it.
there's a sikha from the Rebbe, and if you want to learn the sikha, we can learn it, but not now.
How about a 10-word summary?
Oh no, it's a whole debate between the Rambam and the Rosh, and the Rebbe. What's it's
All right.
it's very fascinating. Stick around, and we'll hopefully get there. Okay, next. Loisilbash shatnez, do not wear shatnez, which is a mixture of tzemer pishtim, wool, and linen yachtav together. Rashi, number 11, shatnez. So here it translates as a mixture. Another translation is a combed fibers. Lashon eruv, this a terminology of a mixture. The news. The sages explain that the word shatnez is a contraction. It's like a Rosh Tevis for shua, tavu, venuz, meaning carded or spun or twined. Huh?
It's separate. Do you have wolf tzitzis and linen,
Yes, you could.
because they're not bound together like they say here?
No, because for a mitzvah, I don't want to get into it now, but look at this. Look at the next one.
Sure.
Gidilim, tasilach, you shall make for yourself gidilim, twisted threads, al arba kanfis, on the four corners, ksuscha, of your garment, asher techaseba, that you cover yourself with. Gedilim tatzilach, you shall make these twisted threads, af minav kalaim, even from mixture of wool and linen. That's why the verse juxtaposed them. Right. In other words, what's this got to do with the previous thing? Well, like all the way, what are you mixing this in? Because the previous verse told us you're not allowed to put wool and linen, and here now it says for the mitzvah of your four-cornered garment, right? That you cover yourself, make threads, so that you could make from mixture of wool and linen. That's why it's right.
It's separate for mitzvah.
What?
They're two separate commandments.
No. Of course, they're two separate commandments. That's the point here. That's not the point.
That's what it says here.
But that's not the point. The point that they're juxtaposed to each other. Why? To tell you that the previous prohibition of wool and linen doesn't apply in this instance, right?
Why is that?
So in the Talmud, it explains because a positive, because mitzvah is a positive commandment, and the positive commandment is greater than a negative commandment, and it doesn't push away. A negative commandment doesn't push away the positive commandment.
Okay.
So therefore, you can wear wool and linen. Halachically, we shouldn't do it, right? But biblically, you could. Rabbinically, the rabbis say don't do it. Why? How come?
Might get confused with the wrong thing.
maybe because in the case of a sewing, where you're sewing linen and wool together, the two different fibers are intertwined and become essentially one.
Well, we said you could do it for tzitzis. Why is it rabbinically you don't?
Because tzitzis are not they're the individual properties of the linen and wool are still maintained, that they're.
But we just said you could do it.
But,
We just said you could
That's
do
why
it.
you can do it.
No, but the rabbinic law is not to do it,
well, they do it
right?
because
They're very simple.
They're protecting.
Very simple. It's because you don't have to do it that way. You could do it just with wool. You don't have to do it with wool and linen,
Mhm.
right? It's not a must. It's just saying that the prohibition doesn't apply. But the rabbinic law is that since you can do it otherwise, therefore it's preferable that you don't do it. It's simple.
Okay.
Okay, let's go next. Okay, 13. We're good?
Here we go. This is
Ki
also-
kachi shisha, when a man takes a woman, and he's intimate with her and then despises her, Rashi ba'aleh sneha, seifa, in the end, he will, the next verse continues,
Jump out.
Visam la alilas dvarim, and he places upon her, meaning he makes alilas dvarim, libelous claims. V'haitzi aleh Hashem ra, and he brings against her a bad name. V'amr ali isha hazais, and he says about this woman, lakachti, that I took, be'ekrav aleha, and I was intimate, I came close to her, meaning I was intimate with her. V'lo imatzatzi ba'psulim, and I didn't find her virginity. Now, she said she was a virgin, I didn't find that. Okay, 14. V'aleha. V'samla alilas dvarim, and and he makes a wanton accusation against her. Avera, one sin drags another sin. He violated that you should not hate. Right? You're not allowed to hate your fellow Jew, especially your wife. She's also Jewish. Don't hate her. Right?
What about the reverse?
Huh?
What about the reverse? Anyway,
Well,
a man toward woman is not a.
it's both ways.
woman,
It's
man.
both ways. It's both ways.
It's a man's world, so.
No, it's both ways. Right? Yeah. Anyway, yes.
Rabbi wrote about that.
Let's learn Chumash, okay? I really want to stick to Chumash and Rashi, and then any other thing, you can always bring it up. Yeah, okay, because we have a lot to learn. Oh boy. We're not going to finish. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just not
Go ahead.
stopping for anything. Okay. My apologies. I shouldn't have stopped till now. So one sin drags another. You violated the hating. Seifa, in the end, lovely day, lashon hara, you're going to speak derogatory. Yes, Isha is this woman, Mikan, from here, Sheina Merdavar, that the party to the dispute may not say anything in court, Elabifnei Baldin, but in the presence of the party of the dispute. Because he says, this woman, meaning he can't come to court and make a claim against her if she's not in court. And the father of the maiden girl, right? She's a young girl. The ima and her mother, right? And they bring out the virginity of this young maiden. Shaira to the elder of the city at the gate. So let those who raised this offspring that is be disgraced by her. And the father of the girl. This is a young girl, remember. So she's only like 12 years old. Ela zikenim as biti natzati li shazeh. So the father comes and says to the elders, "My daughter I gave to this man, the isha v'yisneha, for a wife, and he despises her. Amar avi anaira." This tells us the father, but not the mother speaking, because before it says the father and mother are coming, right? This teaches that the woman is not permitted to speak in the presence of her husband when others are present. Oh, that's really PC. It's okay.
I won't tell anybody.
It's out there. The world knows. Hine, who some alilim dvarim leimor. Behold, he made libelous charges, saying, "Leimatasi v'ti psulim bitcham." He says, "I did not find in your daughter virginity, elipsule biti." And this is the virginity of my daughter. And they spread the garment before the elders of the city. Rashi, what does it mean? They spread the garment. What does that mean? So he says, it was a mashal, that's a figure of speech. They don't take the garment and show that she's a virgin. Then now there's blood all over the garment, right? In other words, they make it clear like a new garment, right? Just like a new garment is new. So they make it clear to the elders of the court that she was a virgin. How? And they took the elders of that city, as the man, and they chastised him. Malchus means he got lashes, right? He spoke inappropriate about his wife out of hatred, right? And so now the parents proved that she was a virgin. It doesn't say how, that's not the point over here, right? That's a different discussion in the Talmud, but they prove that she's a virgin. So he's chastised. He gets lashes for what he did. And not only that, they fine him. They punish him. Meya kesef, 100 shekels of silver, but also and they give it to the father of the virgin maiden. Because the husband he spoke ill about the virgin of Israel, those who are virgin of Israel. And to him she shall be a wife, and he can't send her away, he can't divorce her forever. Right? By the way, that's only if she wants, right? If she doesn't want, it's a different story. But he can't now. He can't divorce her because of what he did. But if on the other hand, what he said was true, that she was not found to be a virgin, right? How do you know that she wasn't a virgin? Because there are witnesses, and she was warned. She's in and that she committed adultery after she was betrothed, right? And there's witnesses to that, right? And she was warned. Not only witnesses, right? She was warned, right? Because now she's liable to death sentence. And they take out the maiden girl El Peso to the entrance of her father's home in Skulua and Ira, and she's stoned by the men of that city. Stones, and she dies because she committed a disgraceful thing amongst the Jewish people. These nights, to commit an adultery in her father's home, right? Because she was only betrothed, right? So she was still living in her father's home. And you should clear away the evil from among you. Rashi, from the entrance of her father, look at the children that you've reared. Right? That's why it's done at the entrance of your father's home. Anshe Ira, the men of that city, B'mayim shel Anshe Ira, meaning the presence of the men of that city. Nitza is Beis Abiyah, to commit this evil these days based of here to illicit relations in father's home, come in base of Viha, yeah, in her father's home. Now the word is okay. So that's now is a different story. If a man is found to lie with a woman, Ba'ula's Baal, a married woman, right? Both of them are put to death. Ha'ish, Isha, the man that lies with the woman, Isha and the woman. Israel, and you shall clear away the evil, right, from the Jewish people. Again, this is with what? With witnesses and warning, right? This is what they're liable because she's a married woman. Rashi, both of them shall die, to exclude an act of tingling. It says over here. What does it say over here? Unnatural acts. In other words, without intercourse. Shayna Isha, and then that's mayhem when a woman doesn't have pleasure from such an act. As it says both of them, if it writes that they shall die, you don't have to say both of them. Because it's plural means they shall die. So it means both. So what does it mean both? It means both of them have to have pleasure, not just him, in order that there should be a death penalty. Interesting. Gam, l'rabas aboy macharehem. This includes those that come after them. You mean even if you commit adultery again with someone else, you might think because now the sentence lies upon this person, so therefore, committing the adultery will not be effective in another situation. No, it will. Alternatively, what does it mean even both of them? Laraba is a vlad that includes a fetus. If she was pregnant and sentenced this, don't wait for her that she gives birth. Psh. Wow, heavy duty. When a woman, a girl will be a virgin girl, and she's betrothed, leashed to a man, and a man finds her in the city and lies with her. Right? Why in the city? Why in the city? It's Rashi. And a man finds her in the city, that's why he laid with her. A breach of a wall of a building calls out for an invitation to a thief. She would not have been, this is again not PC. She wouldn't be marching around the city, and this wouldn't have happened, right? So in other words, what this is saying is that if you make an invitation for someone to come looking for you, right? If you're hanging out in a bar, means you're making, to put it in modern day terms, if you're hanging out in a bar and a guy comes, then it's because you're looking for an invitation, right? That's what it means, right? A single girl that goes to a bar means she's looking for an invitation. you see some, right? We're talking about here a married woman, right? Because the law is not, if someone's unmarried, then it's only the prohibition that you're liable for a death sentence is only for married, if the relation is with a married woman. It says Gam Shneihem, both of them go out El Sharir to the gate of the city. He of that city, Skelton Oisam, and you shall stone them, Balbani with stones, Mamesu, and they will die. It's Anaira, the maiden. Aldavar Asher Loitzaka, but here on the fact that she did not cry out in the city. He went after her, but she didn't cry out. Like, in other words, she was a party to it. That's what it means. There's a ish and the man, on that he violated his wife's neighbor, his neighbor's wife. And you shall clear away the evil from among you. But if on the other hand, he found her in the field as a naira, this maiden, right? This means she's a virgin. Who is engaged? She's engaged. The hechzik and he held on to her, and lied with her. So then he, because he raped her, right? He lies because he raped her, lying with her, so that he himself will die. Right? Again, with witnesses, doesn't repeat all the time, but it's only with witnesses and that they're forewarned, right? The man is forewarned, don't rape her, you're raping her, you're going to get killed, right? You're going to get the death sentence.
But why the difference between being in the city and in the field?
So because in the city, there's people around. Again, it's just speaking in a common refrain, a common, possibility. But the law means that in the field there's no one around, so her crying out, stop it, not going to help. Not going to help. No, it's almost likely that's the situation it's talking about. That's the situation it's talking about, right? The city means there's people around, and she could have stopped him.
Right.
Now, if in the city he had a knife and she would say a peep, so it's the same thing as a field, right? It's just speaking in a normative sense,
Okay.
right? That's what it's speaking. Okay, 26. Yeah, we're good. To the maiden, don't do anything. Ain't a naira chait mavis. There's not a for the maiden. There isn't a sin of death. Ki kasher yokom is ish areyehu ratzchu nefesh kain ratzchu nefesh kain hadavar hazeh. For just as a man rises up against his fellow and murders him, so is this case, right? In other words, because in this case she was held against her will. So to put it in modern day terms, that you went to a party and you got drunk, right? Or whatever. And because of that, afterwards, oh, he raped me. Well, you're kind of a party to it, right? Now, okay, I don't know if that's a good example, but by the way, we're not speaking here. We're only speaking here about the liability of a death sentence, right? We're not talking about, proper moral standing. Proper moral standing is you don't look at a woman to even have pleasure from her. Her fingernails that were painted, right? And you have pleasure from that. From your own wife, yes. But another man's wife, no, you don't even have pleasure from that. So forget about what we're talking about here. We're talking about here the nth degree of where there's liability of a death sentence. We're not talking about true morality is you don't look at another woman to have pleasure from her. Period. That's halacha, right? But that's not what we're learning here, just to put everything in a proper context. Yokam ishal re'ehu. Sorry. Oh, Rashi, sorry, in 26. Hikasher yokum, when a man rises, lefi pshutai, according to simple meanings, this is what it means. Because she was coerced. Amad aleha. He rose against her forcibly, like one who rises against his fellow, lahargoy, to kill him. Rabbi Seinu Darshu and our sages expound from here. This comes to teach us the nimsa lamad and is found to be taught about. So this comes to teach us that just like a murderer, right? Like, why is it speaking about in this way, like as if like he's murdering her, right? To come to tell us that just like someone who's got a knife and is ready to kill somebody, right, is a pursuer, and therefore the mitzvah is to kill that person. If the only way to stop them is by killing them, the same thing is the guy who's coercing, who's raping. You can kill that guy if that's the only way to stop him. That's what this is meaning, which is pretty. Whoa. Okay, 27. Because in the field, he found her in the field, and the betrothed girl cried out, and there was no one to save her. So a man finds a virgin girl who is not betrothed, right? So she's not married to somebody. Ready to, right? And he seizes her and lies with her, and they are found. So this is a single woman, right? Not a married, right? So now what? So the man who lies with her, but he coerced her, right? Lavianari gives to, remember that she's living at home, and we're talking about a young maiden. Right. We're not talking about a 20-year-old who's got their own life, or even a 18. She's living at home. So he gives to the father of the maiden, Chamishim Kesef, 50 silver coins, Loiti Elisha, and to him she will be a wife. Because he coerced her. He can't send her away the rest of his life. Again, this is only if she wants that. If she wants to be married to him, right? In other words, this is a punishment to him. You coerced her. Well, you're gonna have to pay the 50 silver coins, plus you're gonna have to be married to her for a lifetime because of what you did, right? If she wants that. Chapter 23, verse 1. Imagine I'll take his friend's, his father, sorry, his father's wife. Even he should not uncover the corner of his father, meaning the cloak of his father. Interesting term, right? Let's see, Rashi. He has no taking in her. Any kedushin types in ba. Now this marriage has an effect because she's married. That's what it means. Lo yikach means over here that there's no marriage over here, right? Even if the father died, right? This is not his mother. This is his father's wife, not his mother, right? Because that we already learned about. The point over here, his father died, and now he wants to marry his father's wife. Lo yikach, he can't take her, meaning it betrothal does not fall upon it. So it's not considered marriage. Not only that you can't do it, it's not even considered as a marriage. Lo yigalai kana aviv, and he shall not uncover the robe of his father. What does that mean? Shemeres yavam shall aviv, a man who anticipates yibum by his father, haruya la aviv, who is fit for his father. The robe of the father connotes that in some sense is fit to come under the responsibility of his father. Ella, but the commandment comes to tell us in the verse, Lavaral Zushnei Lavim, that you transgress two negative commandments regarding this woman. Lismaich law, the Lismaich law, and to put near her, Layavai Mamzer, a Mamzer shall not enter, Lamed Teitzeh, She'ein Mamzer, that a Mamzer, meaning born from a illegitimate relationship, except the relation for those whom one is liable for kares, kal v'chaimer, and all the more so, based in the relations for those who are liable for death by the court. Shein arayis misas, based in there's no death penalty carried out by the court among forbidden relationships. Shein ba kares, that there is no kares. Okay, we'll leave that for now because that's a bit engaged. Okay. A man who has injured testicles, or a member of his testicles is cut, may not enter the assembly of the Lord. What does that mean? Let's see Rashi in number 2. Petzuadaka. By the way, this is the only letter in the word in the Torah. The word daka is spelled with an aleph there. Some Sefer Torahs, it's written with a hey. It's the only letter in the Torah that there's a question on how it's written. Yeah.
Would there be a difference in meaning?
Here it's written with a
Aleph, but if it
with an aleph. In the Chumash I have in front of me, it's written with a hey.
but it's the same meaning.
Yeah, same meaning. Shenivtzeru or nidku beitim shalai, that his testicles are injured or crushed. That's it. Okay. Charas shafcha, when severed or spilling. Shenichras hagid, that the male organ has been severed. Yeshuv eina yerek haluach v'zera, he no longer shoots forth like a stream of seed, but rather he spills and drips, and he cannot father children. The idea here is that he can't father children. So it means about marriage over here. Okay?
But what about now in today's world where there's we have involuntary
It's a good question. So I don't know. Good question. A bastard shall not come into the congregation of Hashem. Gamdor Asiri, also the 10th generation. Lo Bekal Hashem should not come. Lo Yavai Mamzer Bekal Hashem. Lo Yisa Israel. This means you can't marry an Israelite woman. You can marry another Mamzer. He's still Jewish, right? This is someone who comes from a married woman, right? Who had a child from not her husband. That's what it's speaking about only. And the Amini and the Moabite shall not come in the congregation of Hashem. Gamdor Asiri, also the 10th generation. That they should not come to the congregation of Hashem forever. Means they can't marry a Israelite woman. And why is that? Because they did not greet you with bread. Ubamayim and water, but there would say some time when you went out of Egypt, Asher Sachar Alecha is Bilam, and because the Moab, they hired Bilam ben Baor, the son of Baor, Mipator, from Pisor, Aram and Naharaim lekalacha, and from Aram Naharaim to curse you. Rashi Adabar ala Eitzah, concerning the advice. Sheyatzu Ischem Achtihem, to make you sin. That was with the Moabite princesses and the Midianite princesses, that they sinned with adultery and idolatry. B'derech sheyisam teruf, when you were extremely exhausted, you wanted to get from them. Avay Hashem alakecha lishmaya is Bilam. Yafay Hashem alakecha alacha is a klal bracha ki ahev Hashem alakecha. But Hashem, your God, did not want to listen to Bilam, right? Yafay, and he transformed Hashem alakecha, Hashem your God, lacha, for you is a klala, the curse of bracha to a blessing. Ki ahev Hashem alakecha, Hashem loves you. You should not seek their welfare or their good all the days of your life. The final Rashi, we actually did this. Do not seek out their welfare. The general rule is stated over here, a fugitive slave, that he shall dwell with you in your midst. You might think this likewise. Right, be treated in such a way. Talmud Leimar tells us otherwise. Do not seek their peace. All right. Amazing, we got it done. Miracles of miracles. Okay, folks.
Thank you, Rabbi.
There that we